Okay, I just changed the high beams and the low beam on this bike, and I figured I would do a little video to save some other people grief. So what was going on was the warning light came up on the dash. I checked and this bulb was burnt out, and I thought this bulb was burnt out. This was working, and I think they both worked when the high beams were on. So it turns out that if this low beam goes out, I think it compensates and turns that on. Good idea. Just wish I'd known about it before I changed all the bulbs. So I would suggest before you bother with your high beams, which are H1s, replace your low beam. It's a H7. And make sure you get as long lasting as you can. The one I've got in there is supposed to be good for about 400 hours. And to get it out, you literally have to go up underneath here, thread off the cap. You've got two clips that you have to push in and away from the center. And then that lever will flip up. It's pretty easy to unplug, but I could not remove the bulb by hand. I just couldn't get enough leverage. So I ended up having to use a pair of these very small cutters. Made sure the wires were out of the way. Was able to get there and make sure it was clamped on one of the clips from the bulb, and then it came out fairly easily. Went in very easily. The wires, there's a bit of a knack to it, but once you get it, you can push them in towards the bulb and away from the center, and they'll kind of go into their clips fairly easy. If you remember, you've got to push them out towards the front of the bulb and then kind of feel in for the clip. And to actually plug it back in was fairly simple. Once I did that, all the lights work fine. Because I didn't know about this light going out because of the center light and this one being on, I ended up changing both my high beams too. They're a bit of a pain. You have to remove the covers on each one. You remove the speaker cover. It's just 2 screws, one here, and then 3 on the speaker. On either side, it lifts out and it gives you access to your high beams on either side. Again, not a big issue, but if you have big hands, it's going to be a real pain. Anyway, hope this helps. Again, the low beam is an H7 and the high beam is H1. They're the two. The low beam is H7 and the 2 high beams are H1.